take steps to working on yourself. Like really understand yourself in terms of your emotions, your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health. Like, where do I stand? Before pointing in fingers, always point fingers at yourself first and be like, have I checked all these boxes? Then from there, it's like, okay, let me now go into conversation with my partner about what's going on with me, not just me going to blame them. Totally. Then also is to find out where they stand, but to find out what they stand and to be able to hear that and really listen. I think you have to really work on yourself.
Eyes open, hearts ready. Welcome to Wellness Deconstructed. I am Zia Jaffer, and together we're stepping into the arena of authentic well-being. Myth-busting, truth-seeking, and definitely life-changing. Break free, live boldly. It's time for a conscious uprising. Hello, and welcome again to Wellness Deconstructed. I'm your host, Zia Jaffer, and today we have, for the first time ever, a couple as our guest. They are the social media couple for everything fitness, dance, and fashion. Okay, I'm not going to give you any more clues. We're going to welcome our very famous Shiv and Shikie, Miss Tiramisu.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to have you guys here. You're my first couple.
It's nice to be the first.
Yeah. So in the spirit of love, since we're celebrating love this season, why don't we start with you telling us a little bit about your love story, where it all began? Who wants to go?
I was like, well, who is going first and where do we even start? First of all, it feels good to be back here again.
Yes, welcome again.
I've been here before on your podcast, season 1, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so it feels good to be back here. And feels good to be here again with Shiko.
First time here.
First time here, talking about our love story. Like, where do you even start? It wasn't like romantic in the sense, but we met early on in uni. Yeah, I think that's where
towards the end of my uni.
Yeah, towards the end of your uni and in the middle of mine.
Yeah.
And it just started off as a friendship, friends of friends, and we're just kind of in the same circle. And it just started off as friends hanging out for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't love at first sight.
Yeah.
Thing. Like, we first met in a tiny little bar next to our university. So I think we just kept talking. I think at the time we were both seeing other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Shiv didn't just want to be friends.
No, not just me. I think it was both of us. Yeah. I don't think we were both in like, how do I say? I wasn't in like a very serious relationship. A serious relationship. I say that because we were in uni and it was just a bit haphazard in that sense.
But you had your eyes on her.
Yeah. She had her eyes on me. Oh, she had her hands on me. I had her eyes on her. She had her hands on me every time we hung out. So I was like, okay, I guess there's something here. There's some interest here. Yeah, so even the pursuit of that interest was just kind of slow and organic. It wasn't like, all right, now let's go on a date. It was just, we're still hanging out as friend groups and...
Yeah.
How long did that friend group hanging out period last?
I think probably about a year.
Yeah. Slightly more, actually.
Even maybe a little bit more, because I feel like it's maybe 3 years down the line. I was like, oh my God, we're dating. We're still dating. So it was a very slow burn. It just happened.
Oh.
But she's saying it like she didn't know that we were dating when we were dating.
No, I knew. I was shocked that 3 years had passed and we were still dating. I was like, oh my God, it's actually like a serious thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like serious when, you almost walked out on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when.
Yeah.
For me, I think there was like a serious shift in like my priority for this relationship and the relationship at the time. Because it was like I was trying to prioritize other things and just not spend as much time with Shiko. So it was like, okay, we're spending time. I'm like, okay, cool. I need to go and do this other things. And she's like, yo, I'm not just going to be, one of the tasks you kind of mark off in your day and then just move on. So it was like, are we serious? Are you serious about this? And that for me now made me think about us more seriously.
Yeah, I guess when you realize like you're going to lose something is when you're like, oh no, I need this in my life. I need to give time to that person or that thing,
Yeah.
So when was was there like an official like first date or anything?
No, I think Shiv and I are quite terrible when it comes to
all dates
and marking things. I mean, we're okay with our kids' birthdays, but anything else is a bit all over the place. So I don't think there was a specific like first date or first anything. We actually even kind of just there's an official first date.
Well, not official first date, but it's an official something that I remember very well. But
okay,
I'm not sure if this is PG, but yeah, it's
whatever you want it to be like.
I remember that first date, but yeah.
Okay.
At your place.
But in terms of dates,
the first day at your place. You don't remember the first day at your place.
In terms of dates,
okay.
She's giving you the sign.
He's not getting it. No, I don't think there was an official first date. If anything, I think at the time I was working my first job, and one of my colleagues told me that her and her boyfriend didn't know when their official first date was, so they just created an anniversary. And they picked a date that they knew would always be a date that they can hang out. So they picked a public holiday. I was like, oh, that's a great idea.
Smart.
Yeah, it's a very smart idea. So we picked, I think, was it June 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we picked June 1st because it's a public holiday. So like for sure, the night before we'll be able to have dinner and stuff like that. So that became our unofficial anniversary until we got married.
Yeah, then it changed.
When we got married.
Yeah.
And how long did you guys date for before you got married?
Long. Very long. From what? Maybe 8 years?
Oh, was it? Okay, so...
See, we're really bad with this.
Days.
We're very bad with
So it was like from 2012, 2013?
I think 2012.
Yeah.
And then we got married in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 7 years. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's cool. And how, like, what has your journey been growing in love with each other? Like, do you have like some memories where you realize that, okay, this is where like our bond has grown stronger or anything like that?
I think as you were asking for me, what jumped into my mind was probably when I got pregnant with our first baby, because I feel like that kind of like forced us to really think about the relationship and where it's going. Not that it wasn't already super serious, but it was kind of like now like we're really doing a thing together type of thing. And that was in 2014 when I got pregnant. Yeah, end of 2014. I think that's when it kind of, it's like, oh. Yeah.
It's getting real.
It's getting very real.
Yeah, it was like not the usual. It was kind of unconventional, our journey, because it hasn't been, like date, then get married, then have kids. It's been like friends, then date, then have kids,
we're
then
having a kid.
married, then have kids, then. So it's been a bit unconventional. And
yeah. And it was also a time, I think, of a lot of change, again, that I think pushed us to think about where we're going with the relationship, because when I got pregnant, Shiv decided to leave the job he was at. So it was just a lot of change. We had to start thinking about moving in together because we were clear that we didn't want to raise our child separately. We wanted to be in the same space. Yeah, so I think that was it was an interesting time. Yeah, it was a transformational time.
Yeah, and through those times, I think we were clear that we wanted to be together.
Yeah.
So even though it was like some of the situations were a bit rough, we were sure that, okay, we still want to go through this together.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, let's just do it and together and see how it goes, you know. As long as, you know, we're there for each other, let's just figure it out.
Yeah.
I think we were clear on that. And that also in its own way forces you to work on the relationship.
Exactly,
Because you can't not work on it and you want it to prosper. So just the same way you work on your business, you work on the podcast, you work on whatever it is, you still have to put in the work.
Yeah.
So through each of those, whether it's leaving the job or moving in together or, you know, shopping for baby stuff and setting up for the baby, it's like we have to be a team at this.
Yeah.
So that strengthens the bond.
True.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question. Like, I'm curious, like, how did your relationship grow? Like, how did you take that? Like, okay, you realized that you're having a baby. Did you just like know that, okay, this is how it's meant to be? Or did it take like a beating on your relationship and then you had to work to regrow into it?
That's a good question. I don't feel like the relationship took a beating the first time around. I think it was more of, for me, I think that's when we truly became now like partners. We were in a relationship, but I feel like that's when we became a team. Because it was, he's doing this, I'm doing that. Have we done this? Have we done that? And I think in those days, I was a little more organized. I was as organized as you are. You know, we had our list. We knew what we needed to do. So I feel like it was a lot of adjustment. But personally, I wouldn't say it had a negative impact on the relationship.
Yeah, well, after the baby, it was a bit
After the baby is tough.
Yeah, it was
preparing
tough.
for the baby.
Preparing for the baby was good. In fact, it was like we're really strong.
Yeah.
I think after the first baby and after the second baby, after both babies.
Yeah.
I think
struggle.
Yeah,
Those are usually
there's a period of difficulty, especially for your relationship.
Yeah, totally.
Because there's a lot of shifts in focus and energy. You know, it's all baby and also hormonally it's just different. So for you two to have a very strong relationship, it's difficult. I mean, there's a lot going on from
I love that you said that you became a team.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like you start a business together and you're a business partner, and then you have like a product that you're putting out, and here like you are actually having like your love as your product, you know. So it's so cool to see that when you have a baby, it actually strengthens that bond.
It can, yeah.
But after the baby actually comes,
everything
it takes like that transformation is like huge, not just for a woman, also for a man, but also as a couple or as a team. I feel like we have to deal with a lot.
So much. And you would think after the first go around, because you kind of know what to expect, you think the second one, you know, we're ready for this, but it hits you just as hard.
Yeah.
It's wild.
You're so in the moment, you know, so you kind of forget the first time round and you're so in this moment, and it's also a bit different maybe
because there's another child as well.
There's another child as well. You're also in probably different times in your life. Maybe your self-growth is different, your experiences are different, what you're currently experiencing is different.
Every birth is also different.
Every birth is different. Our second time around, we're going through a global pandemic, something that we've never gone through. Like, it was so much change.
And they always say like, oh, it gets easier with another child, but I always feel like it's still adding another human into your family. So first you're dealing with you're just the 3, but then it's 4. So just dealing with one other human, irrespective of whether you already know or not, it's still a lot more.
It is. It's a completely different dynamic.
Yeah. And so I'm going to go deep into that. How did that affect your relationship? Like the raw, the real.
The raw and the real. What can I say? Well, I don't think we were connecting at the time. I think from my end, I was really focused, I guess, on the baby. I was not feeling like myself. I just didn't feel like, I felt like a completely different version of myself. So I think the first time around, I don't know, I feel like the bounce back was a bit quicker. No, it took longer, but I feel it wasn't as hard.
Yeah, maybe.
The second time, at least, we were able to talk to talk a little bit at some point.
Yeah.
To talk about
what's going
the
on,
difficulties that we were both.
Yeah, I think the
having.
first time also, we were just kind of moving in together, not completely. It was like a hybrid system where you were home for some
I went back home to people who knew how to take care of a child for 3 months.
You're home for some days.
It's the best way to do it, honestly, because you need that support system when you're.
I do not regret it at all.
Yeah.
At all.
And then you're at mine for a few days, and it's like back and forth.
Yeah.
And then I was starting this huge job, so I was also really occupied with that.
Yeah.
So it was a bit, I feel like it was a bit different. Second one, it was just you and me. And
oh, God, yeah, it was just us and
just
our feelings.
Us and our feelings. And it's weird, you kind of feel a shift in the energy, in the priorities, in just how you feel about each other. And at some point, you don't know what to do about it, because you're like,
got frustrated.
Yeah?
You were frustrated.
I was frustrated because, I was just like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was seen. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was seen, and I didn't understand why. Because I was trying, and when you try and you get rejected, that rejection is very difficult. It's
so painful.
It's very difficult here. And when, you try to understand, but at the same time, you're also human. And it's still difficult. And so now you start to wonder, like, what is going on? Is this going to be a permanent thing?
Is this forever?
Is this forever that they don't see me the same way? Am I not as attractive as I was? Are they not attracted to me? So does that mean that this not going to be after this? And what does that mean for the relationship?
Yeah.
So it's like you ask yourself all these questions, and at the same time, you see how it's like you're still trying to raise a baby. So you still have to like do shopping, house shopping, and you still have to do the nighttime routines.
All
you
the
still have to change.
things.
All the mundane things.
All the day-to-day.
And you're like, when's the right time to talk about this?
Yeah.
When do we talk about this? When?
Yeah.
And you're afraid also to bring it up, right?
Exactly.
Because you're like,
you kind of want to hear, you don't want to hear at the same time.
Something you don't like.
You're like, oh man. So it might also start building resentment. And I think that's when for me, I was like, no, I can't let this continue to build up. We just need to say it. We need to see where each other is. And if it hurts, it hurts. But we just need to say how we feel about where ourselves and our relationship. So we took a few walks to talk about.
We had many conversations. There were tears.
Lots of tears.
Tears are good. I always say tears are always good to like let it all out, you know.
It's necessary because, I mean, just like you said, if you sit in the resentment, I think that's where you go wrong. Because he had his own, I had my own, because you see, I felt like I was dealing with so much. It felt like too much to add on understanding how he was feeling.
Totally.
In that situation. So we had a few conversations, agreed to give each other time. And eventually we made it out.
But it feels good when you have those conversations, because you also realize that some of the things were just in your head.
That's true. It's like not everything is about you.
Not everything is about you also.
That's
and you're like, okay,
true.
that was actually just in my head. And that's not how they feel. So I just made these assumptions. So now at least I know where we stand and what needs to be done, and we both have an idea of what needs to be done. And
also I feel like you feel seen and heard by the other person as well, and it gives you an opportunity to explain yourself, like without you talking to each other, like it happened with me and my partner as well. Like we also had a similar experience, but then when we choose to talk to each other, be like, this is actually what I'm going through. I know you're perceiving it like that, but I have no
just guessing.
I have no what's that word? Bad intention to like ignore you or anything, but this is actually what I'm going through. Like my brain is filled with this thing, my heart is filled with these emotions that I have no time to even consider anything else. So it's not that I'm doing it intentionally. So I feel like it makes the other person understand the opposite person's perspective as well, and that like helps release and like burst that bubble, which is like becoming bigger and bigger.
And take away some of that, that tension, that
because then it comes out in different
space.
ways, like a little bit of like lashing out or like, anger and stuff like that.
Yes.
And that's not nice when it gets to that point, because it just like takes you down not a very nice
a very bad spiral.
Yeah. But I wanted to tell you, like, recently when I was studying motherhood studies, I realized that the process of becoming a mother from a maiden actually takes 2 to 3 years.
Oh, do you know, I always tell people that I started to feel like myself when my kids turned 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's not like the 6 weeks postpartum period that people think that, okay, you are supposed to be in love with your child and like, you know exactly what to do and you've like embraced that role properly. It's called matrescence actually, and it takes like a really long period. And it's like an entire transformation. It's like peeling off a layer and then slowly growing into this person that is the mother. So and then all of a sudden everything made sense. I was like, yeah, this is why I was feeling this way. This is why I was feeling numb, and I had like all these emotions raging, but I had no words to even explain it, So then I sat my partner down. I was like, okay, we're having another baby. This is exactly what is going to go through.
Yes.
This is what I'm going to be going through, and we don't need to just talk about how to set up a baby's nursery, but we need to talk about how our dynamics will change and how we might feel like we're not getting each other's attention. But what are the steps we can take?
How do we deal with each other at that time?
So I feel like now I'm seasoned, so like I could have that conversation. But for the first 2 times, we were just like, okay, done and dusted, and then you go straight in to hell and then deal with it and then come out of it, So I guess like I always say, like, women have birthing classes and birth preps and stuff, but no one prepares them for postpartum. And now there is more awareness of how to prepare for postpartum. But I feel like we need to prepare the dads too. There's not enough information given to dads. Now I see, okay, I'm doing birthing classes for the first time. And the doula is like, okay, I'll have the partner once come in to show how to help you when you're in labor. So I'm like, yeah, the dads also need to be prepared for postpartum. And it's not just the conversation of what we're going to bring in for the baby or what we're going to feed the baby, but we also need to have a conversation about how we're going to bond, how we're going to connect. Like you guys said, you went for walks, right? And I feel like these are the conversations we should have before giving birth, that, like, make a list of things that we can do for each other.
And how to show up for each other in the times when it might be tough to talk to each other.
Exactly. And also, like, how do you like me to help? How would you like me to help you? Or how would you like to help him so that he doesn't feel that lost? Or like, like how you can support each other, basically. And I feel like that is a crucial thing missing.
It's very important. It's very important, because otherwise we're just all waiting in the, like, we don't know what to do with ourselves. And then you see, even like Shiv said, at that time things are very touchy. Very sensitive. So, if you start something, you need to be ready for the consequences of that conversation.
Also, I feel like it's a cultural thing in terms of, I'm looking at it just from the men's side of things. It's like there's different ways that in your culture that the man's supposed to show up in that situation. That you've been taught and that has been passed down.
That you've seen,
And that you've seen. But also in the reality of things are changing, and that's not your current reality and how things actually are. So it's like there's, again, that gap in, okay, so what am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to just fall back to the tradition that says not going to work right now? Or where do I get the information? Or is it trial and error? Or do I just go into my own, hole and just like, okay, I'll just go into provision mode and that's it?
Or wait to be asked for things.
Or wait to be asked. Or like, how do I show up? Exactly. So where's the knowledge, and actually, where is the knowledge?
You can't even Google it.
Like, preparation for this.
What do you even Google? But I think it's exactly what Zia is saying. During the pregnancy, when you find out that you guys are having a kid, I think it should be just the same way you have conversations about natural birth versus cesarean, which hospital, what are we going to, such things. I think that should be part of the conversation. Like, how do we survive the postpartum period, both of us? How do we show up for each other?
We see those are not questions you'd ask if it's your first time.
Exactly. Professionals. It needs to be part of the professionals that we speak to, I guess.
Yeah, I think having like a community of professionals is important, but also the professionals need to understand that there is this gap that needs to be filled.
Yeah.
Because now there are professionals for supporting moms, but there aren't professionals for supporting dads.
Yeah.
No.
I haven't heard of any that I know of.
It just made me think.
Like meeting your friends at the bar. That's the support.
Yeah, that's the support. It's never really
just the dad
cultural
circle.
support.
best support there, to be honest.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, that's really a gap that needs to be filled.
Yeah. Really does.
Thank you for sharing and being so vulnerable.
Yeah.
Moving on, I know that you guys are on a fitness journey. And I would love to know like how your love has helped you grow on your personal wellness journeys as well. Whether it's fitness or anything else, but I see fitness as the core. So that's what I'm bringing up.
Oh, I can start.
Yeah.
I live with a coach. So I think peer pressured myself into the lifestyle because it was Shiv's job at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had just gotten into it. So it was I always joke with people and I say I can't ruin the family business by not being in shape. No one will believe him if I don't look like I'm, doing something. But for sure, I was influenced into fitness by Shiv.
Yeah.
100%. I think that was maybe 2017 or something, 2016. After we had our first baby, I mean, he'd been training people and I just decided to join in.
Yeah. That's when I made my first postpartum program.
I remember you
for
saying
moms.
this.
Yeah, that's when it was you. Because I was like,
because you used to coach me in the house.
Yeah, I used to coach in the house, and I was like, you know what? I think there's a market for this. I think ladies would like to get back to themselves. And I was like, let me see how this would work. And so like Shikie was like subject 1, subject 0.
Because it was literally the first time I ever felt the need to work out, and I guess we must have had that conversation. So, and I was a good subject for Shiv to start with.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, for me, seeing what fitness and wellness did for me, and I was like, I think everyone should experience this. So it was not like you had much of a choice anyway. I think it was going to be just something I'd pursue you about until you actually started.
Yeah.
But I wanted everyone in at least the family to feel the way I felt about it, to experience the same benefits and advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew I would like us to raise our kids to coming into a family where they see, okay, working out is just part of what has to be done every day. So it's not like, oh, we have to, not like we have to go, but, we get to work out and we just do it every day.
It's part of the routine.
It's
You
part
have
of your
breakfast,
daily
you work
routine.
out, you shower,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go for walks, there's time for reading, there's time for screen time, there's no screen time. So it's just that whole lifestyle. It wasn't how necessarily I grew up, but we've seen the benefits and we want to pass it on to the next generations. And it's part of the business. So it's like
family.
It's like, is there someone who's coming up to like take over the business at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a must, but it's just part of who we are. And I'd like it to just stay like that.
That way. And our firstborn took an interest in the gym from very early on.
Yeah.
Like even to date, she just loves being in the gym. She's very athletic. So it made it a lot easier. We tried, at least with her, I think she probably had her first soda at like maybe 3 years old. Like we try and keep away certain things.
Of course.
Just to maintain balance. But we've never been, we're a lot about balance. We've never been no candy, absolutely no candy. They can have candy. But there's time for this, there's time for that. Shiva said, there's time for screen time. Sometimes if they've had too much screen time, we'll tell them, go for a walk, take a break, and then now you can come back in. So that kind of balance. We've always been very keen to have that kind of balance, not just physical wellness, but
mental.
The
mental side of things.
Yeah, but I also feel like one thing leads to the other.
No, this was never a plan. Like I think it happened organically.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever sat down and had a conversation about how much of each of these things they'll have. It just happened organically. And we're still doing it. And right now, even our nanny works out.
So
she
cool.
works out too. She's into it.
Yeah.
She also started when, like, maybe a year after
coming to work
for us. So now she's into working out, and in fact, we were at the run on Sunday together.
Yeah,
well, I didn't know she was going to be there. She was at the marathon. I think it was her first marathon. She did 10K.
Yeah.
So she's also enjoying the whole benefits of working out and just being with it. She even took out like processed foods, and she eats a lot less meat than us. Even sometimes I'm just like, I think I also need to reduce my meat intake because of how she's eating.
Yeah. I know. I mean, even someone like that, it just shows you that it rubs off. It rubs off on people, because we'll go to the gym, the kids will see us working out. I don't go to the gym anymore. I work out from home. And one of the reasons that I usually like telling people I work out is because I like the kids to see that it's part of the process. So I used to do it in my bedroom. Then I started doing it in the living room where they can see, because I used to go and do it so that I'm out of their way. And I decided I want to be in their way, So, I'm using the TV to work out. No one can use it while I'm doing that kind of thing. Yeah, because I think these things just rub off.
Totally. Yeah. I always say monkey see, monkey do.
100%. I know how kids are sponges. Yeah.
And they always will absorb. And this will, like, we grew up without being exposed to a lifestyle like that.
Yes.
But now if we want to expose our kids to it, they have to see us do it.
Exactly.
Because the more, like, as much as we tell them, it will not sit in their brains. But if they see it, it's very easy, because they want to copy us all the time.
Of course. Yeah. They think it's cool. While they're still young, they think it's cool. So.
And I love that. I feel like in a partnership, when one person introduces a value and you see the growth in that person, then you want to be able to incorporate that as well. Yes, it's a business for you as well, but also a value, right? That you want to live a fit life. And then as a partner, you also see, like, you don't want to be left behind.
True.
But you want to catch up to that vibe as well, because you want to grow together in a relationship. And then that impacts your kids too. And I feel like that is also a key element in maintaining a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Because then you're growing together, and when you have a common value or a common goal that you're trying to achieve, it keeps you together somewhere.
Yeah. And it also, you're accountable to each other, because see, if I decide to skip my workout when Shiv comes back from the gym, I don't have that conversation where I'm like, I didn't work out, and when he asks why, there's really no reason why. So it just keeps you accountable in that sense. The other day I was working out when he came home and the lights went. So I was like, okay, we're done with that. Let's move on with life. And he was like, but where are you going? You haven't finished.
I was like,
like, but the lights, I don't know. Like, no. So it's also keeping each other accountable.
Yeah. So like I now coached her. I was like, I mean, you have the time, and your lights going
and
doesn't mean you can't work out. So here's your workout, and let's go. You still have 10 minutes in your workout. So we're going to do this 10 minutes in your workout.
No TVs, no excuse. Right?
You have pleased, but I did it.
Right there.
I tried to fight it. So it does feel like you're growing together, like being accountable to each other, because if you plan on spending the rest of your lives together, I don't want him looking 40 when we're 60 and I look 75.
Competition, you gotta catch up.
Just need to, so whatever gets you going.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So what are one of the biggest challenges like you've had in your relationship, and like how have you overcome that, if you're okay to share?
Big question.
It's a big one. I don't know, aside from I wonder what, aside from the postpartum ones have been pretty big. Oh, those have been pretty. The second one was rough. The second one was so rough.
How did you get out of it?
It's a lot of patience.
Mm-hmm.
A few conversations, I guess. I don't know. Or did we just write it out? I really have no idea.
We didn't write it out. We, I think, had to set, the conversation actual dates.
Yeah.
Just to spend time without the kids or without anyone else.
And remember, we really couldn't leave the house much because it was COVID time.
And there was that too. Yeah, we couldn't leave the house much because of COVID.
Yeah, because we didn't have many conversations, or not many.
Yeah.
But the few that we sat down and had, I think, were very heavy ones. But I think, at least for me, one of the things was working on myself. So not looking at it like a relationship problem, because I felt
Then
like
there
I
was
was,
that.
yeah, because remember, even for you, even you went and had your own little, I guess, you also had a conversation with someone else, like you saw someone.
Yeah, I think I saw two people.
Yeah.
I saw two different people. It's a therapist.
Yeah, he spoke to two. Yeah, he spoke to, like, that's how bad it had gotten, because we were not, we couldn't resolve.
Yeah.
I was feeling too many things to consider his many feelings. He was feeling his many things, maybe could not understand what I was feeling, you know. So, yeah, I think self-work was a big part of...
That was the first time I'd talked to a therapist.
Yeah, it was.
And this coming from someone who doesn't like to talk to therapists.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think from there also, I started working on myself more than I ever have. That's when I think my whole self-help book journey began. And I think I read, between then and now, probably read like one every month or something. So a lot of psychology books, a lot of self-help, a lot of...
So would you say that sparked your mental health journey?
Yeah, that's really sparked my mental health journey, just understanding myself and feelings and how to deal with
people
them
as
and
well.
people.
Other people.
So, yeah, because I was also trying to understand Shiko and myself, because we're so different. And I was just like...
Yeah, we're generally very different people, Shiv and I. Like, we're polar opposites personality-wise, how we deal with things. Yeah, so it can cause a lot of friction.
That was definitely the most difficult
I think so.
period we've had.
Yeah.
Definitely the most difficult period.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love seeing that, like, these difficult parts in the relationships is what makes us grow personally.
Yeah.
Or like forces us to grow personally as well. Because you realize at some point that it's just not the other person's fault.
Yeah.
There might
have a part to play.
Yeah, like I have a part to play somewhere, but where? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what is it? Why is their action like triggering me so much? You know, like, what is my trauma that I haven't dealt with that I might be projecting?
Yeah.
And that's when, like, you dive deep into it and you realize, like, oh, okay, this is how I was contributing to this whole situation also, right? Or this is the way that she might be going through it as well. Because with me, what I realized is when I went to therapy, I was able to talk to my partner that, okay, this is what I went through while growing up, and this is the trauma maybe I was projecting on you, and this is what happened. And that conversation also helped him understand that, okay, fine, okay, I get this is where it's coming from. So it's not about me.
Yeah.
Or like I'm not the one being blamed. Yeah. So that it's just that extraction of that blame, I feel like makes a lot of things smoother.
So much.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, for me, it also forced me to withdraw from a lot of outside noise. Because at that time, you know, there was a lot of like, you know, just breakups and cases.
Oh, yeah, COVID was terrible. Yeah. Everyone
even for my friends. And so it's just like, okay, I kind of have to decide what I want or what.
Yeah, because everyone around us, marriages were breaking, and during the pregnancy we were fine. Like we were
very good during the pregnancy.
It was a fairly good time. Work-wise, it wasn't good for me, but for the relationship,
was really good.
We were fine. Like, we were okay, and then after, that's when we're just like, whoa.
What hit us, you know? But I know, like, what you're saying about COVID being a really hard period for a lot of people, because that's when they realize, like, now when we have to see each other 24/7 is when you realized, oh, okay, there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen in that other person, or like you also have to tolerate the other person a lot more, because then you're really seeing every side of them and every action and every activity. And that forces you, of course, like, it's easy to break up and move on. And if that's right for you, well and good as well. But what it also forces in a relationship is, again, seeing each other's traits, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then see how you can actually work through that. Yeah. So it was a great, challenging period. If you want to, true. Because a lot of people are not willing to do the work on themselves. But also a lot of people are not aware that they might have a part to play. And it's always the blame game. That's what I've seen in most people that have broken up. Like, it's the blame game. Or okay, eventually if you realize that the person is not willing to do the work when you have done the work. So like I said, you have to catch the vibe, you know, of the one person growing.
Yeah.
And you have to grow together. When you don't grow together, you grow apart.
Yeah.
And that's the end of a relationship as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a good conversation, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I haven't been on a set in a long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually
yeah.
did.
Right?
I feel honored
And
to
we
have you.
haven't been,
We haven't been together.
we haven't been on set together in a while.
Yeah, I have been. I was
Yeah,
on set
you've been on
last
set.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, like together.
Yeah, together we haven't been
together
on
we
set.
haven't been on set in a long time. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting. We always end up just having conversations. So thank you.
In fact, we have like 5 episodes we haven't released on this page.
Oh yeah, I know you guys have a podcast too, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we have a season 2 that.
We just never released. Yeah.
And
Get it going, guys. We want to know
there.
more
But
about
it's
you.
coming.
These
It's
conversations.
coming. It's been shot. It's been edited. It's
Yeah.
just
Just need to.
figure out ourselves and the way forward.
Yeah, it's hard. Like it
It's
took
hard.
me 2 years to get to launch this thing.
hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard. Like there would always be something that would like stop me.
Things always come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is why I think I also appreciate the way you planned it
Yeah.
properly. You know,
Just
which
like
is
my brain
fantastic.
just works better when
Yeah.
I
No, that's fantastic.
organize it well.
It makes it so much easier.
Yeah. Thank you for being here and thank you for sharing so openly.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Before we close, I want to ask you a few questions. You know the drill.
Okay.
But just quick questions so that the audience can get to know you a little better and maybe something that you can leave the audience with as well.
Okay.
What's your one non-negotiable habit to keep thriving in your relationship?
For me, it's being physically healthy.
Or something that you do together as well to keep your relationship going?
I'll just say the first thing that came to my mind when you said it. For me, I think it's respectful communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be
So
respectful.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that too.
Yeah.
How do you choose to express love to your other half? You can go first.
I'm an acts of service girl. So I like to do things for him. Just little things that sometimes it's things that maybe he doesn't quite enjoy doing himself. I like to cook. I cook for Shiv a lot. He's such a great person to cook for. He'll eat anything I cook.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great.
Yeah, I'm not a picky eater, so yeah, anything as long as it's there, I'll eat it, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because you like, so you like to cook for me, but I like to do things for you.
Yeah.
In the. Let's see how to
Are we
put
here
this.
again?
Like in the physical sense, you know.
Like,
Like
touch, you mean? Like
massages.
she likes touch.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Sorry, there was a spider. It's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were saying like she likes you like to show love with touch.
Yeah, physical touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. And how do you like to receive love?
With time, just time.
Quality time.
Yeah,
she was
That's
quality
also
time.
love language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like just spending time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's walking or
Yeah, we walk a lot.
yeah, Shiko doesn't always like to do the things I like to do because I'm
No,
very
we have very different
outdoorsy,
interests. Yeah.
like hiking and
I'm a
climbing
homebody.
and
Yeah,
anything
same.
physically challenging. I love it, but we figure it out.
Yeah,
Figure
walking
it
is,
out.
I think, our middle ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And how do you like to receive love?
I think for me, it's a hybrid of acts of service. So just doing thoughtful things, or for example, she will.
And your eyes, yeah.
Thank you. So like for Shiv to recognize that I'm having a tough time with something and just get it done. Like, so acts of service as well as words of affirmation, also big for me. Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
What is the cutest thing he's ever done for you?
The cutest thing. Huh.
I wanted to say like most romantic, but I just like put it as the cutest, you know. But you can think of any cutest
Okay, I don't
or
know if I'd
romantic.
say cutest. Can I say most thoughtful?
Yeah.
The most thoughtful that comes to my mind, I think for me was during my second pregnancy, we went on our sort of baby moon. So we were with our firstborn at the time.
Yeah.
And while we were on our trip, my grandpa passed away, which was very hard because I was raised by my grandparents. So and we're supposed to be heading back home. He knew it's a lot. It was going to be a lot. So he found a way to, I think, to extend our holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, found a way to extend our holiday just so that I'd have a little more time to process it by myself before now, going home to help with everything. Yeah, I think for me that was a big thing.
Yeah, that's so sweet. And what about you? What has she done for you? That's the most thoughtful,
romantic, whatever.
Romantic.
Oh, man. It's a good question. I struggle with this.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. In fact, I was shocked. I was going to say, I don't know if I do cute things.
You do cute things. I think I want more cute things.
I do thoughtful things.
Yeah,
I don't do cute things.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. It's just, I can't pin one particular thing, I'll be honest.
Most recent one that you remember?
For me, it's just if I'm tired and I really want something to eat, a particular thing, and she makes it for me. Yeah, let me just say my loyalty is this one. I just want to eat something that I feel like eating.
I was even telling you, sometime if I know he's having a bad day, I just feel the need to be in the kitchen. I don't know. I'm just
that's just what works
I just want
for
to
me.
feed him.
Very simple. Just good food and I'm good.
Oh,
I'm very simple. Yeah. Or if it's like it's that and taking the kids away for some time so I can nap. I nap a lot. Yeah, I like to nap like middle of the day. So that helps. Yeah.
Giving you space.
Yeah, this is my space. I like just being alone in my space. Yeah.
What's your favorite date night activity? I know you said you don't do much date nights.
Eating
good food.
And walking, like you guys said.
Yeah, but mostly, eating good food is something we do a lot. We also watch a lot of movies together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same movies.
Yeah.
Same movies?
Yeah.
We kind of like, no, we have there are certain types of movies that we both enjoy. So like Shiv said, we have very different interests, but there are certain intersections, and good food and movies fall within that.
That's great.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to have more kids?
No.
I know he told me no already.
No.
He's like, I'm
very
sure.
He's
traumatized.
I'm very sure.
No,
Sure.
I mean, every now and then, I will be honest, I'll probably see a cute baby and my ovaries will do the thing. However, I bring myself back. I think about the toll that it takes. I think mentally, emotionally, for me, is the really tough one. And even physically, it's too much.
I feel you.
Yeah. I'll just come and smell your baby.
Please do.
Yeah.
And you can take care of it as well for some time.
I don't mind holding and, rocking a little. Then I go home.
Thanks. So what's the one piece of advice that you would leave for someone that is struggling in their relationship in the audience?
I think communicate. I think communicate, because you might be struggling in your relationship, and like we said earlier, maybe it's not even about you, what the other person is going through. I think that's
for you.
what I can think of.
I would say, first, take steps to working on yourself. Like really understand yourself in terms of your emotions, your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health. Like, where do I stand? Before pointing in fingers, always point fingers at yourself first and be like, have I checked all these boxes? Then from there, it's like, okay, now let me go into conversation about with my partner about what's going on with me, not just me going to blame them. then also is to find out where they stand, but to find out where they stand and to be able to hear that and really listen. I think you have to really work on yourself.
That's true.
Yeah. You
That's
just,
true.
yeah.
That's really important,
Yeah.
for sure. Thanks. Useful.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, look to yourself first.
Look to yourself first.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here, and thank you for sharing.
having us.
Thank you for being here. A little token of appreciation from us.
We love flowers at home. Thank you. Yeah, nice big one.
This matches the
Yeah,
couple.
Yeah,
and it kind of matches
so
your
thoughtful.
outfit too. Yeah.
It does.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
And thank you for your
having us.
time.
Yeah,
As usual, we wish you well
Thank
of
you.
course, of course.
with the podcast.
Thank
Wish you well with the
Everything.
coming
Baby.
baby, the rest of the family.
I think when by the time the episode is out, the baby would be out.
The baby will be out. So with the journey, with the whole journey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nothing
you
but
for being
blessings.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And thank you for having us again.
It's a pleasure. I realized it matches your nails too.
Yeah.
This was not planned.
Did
Okay?
someone, excuse me, who is responsible? It's you, Tanu. It really does.
Actually, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, I love purple. Yeah, so good job.
I'm glad we managed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for watching yet another episode of Wellness Deconstructed with me. I hope you had a great time. I sure did. Thank you also to our sponsor for this chapter, My Daddy Moa, for the beautiful flowers that they have given for all our guests. Remember, like, comment, share, and subscribe because your support means everything to me. Until next time, keep prioritizing your well-being.